welcome back to Keto Homestead with Jess. Today we're going to discuss what keto is. So stay tuned and find out. Now keto, as you can tell in a lot of my videos, is one of my passions. Keto to me is a lifesaver. So I wrote a list down to help me get through this because I am passionate about keto. I get really excited about talking about keto. I get totally off topic and I jump all around. So I'm hoping that I hope by writing down these key points I can stay on topic and articulate this a lot better for you guys, because I do get excited and I start talking really fast and I'm just all over the place. So let's get started. Well, first of all, let me say I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionalist, so if you decide to do keto, then you need to do your own research, and this is just my experience and what's happened with me and my lifestyle. So keto actually stands for ketogenic. It's not to be confused with ketoacidosis. You guys need to look that up. If you're ketoacidosis, you already know that. You know what it means. It's totally different. It may sound similar, but is two totally different words. So look that up in your free time. To me, keto is not a diet. Keto is a lifestyle. And the reason I say that is because diets, they don't last. They're not sustainable. The keto lifestyle to me is sustainable. You can do this for the rest of your life. As diets, they're short term. It's just a big difference. Now keto is a high fat, moderate protein, keep that in mind, moderate protein and low carb lifestyle. When keto first came about, keto was actually used by many doctors to treat epilepsy in children. There's many studies online. There's many documentaries on YouTube. You can also look that up. Keto, what it does is it forces our body to burn fat instead of carbs. That, in turn, turns our body into fat-burning machines. If you go back to my keto transformation, you can see the proof in the pictures. Now, I've come across a lot of problems with doctors, especially my own doctors, family doctors and stuff like that. So doctors are not, you got to realize when you go to talk to your doctor or healthcare professional, nutritionist, whatever, you need to realize that these doctors are not trained on nutrition. And they don't believe in keto. They believe keto is bad. And here's why. When doctors go to medical school, for one, they're taught what the FDA wants them to be taught. Does that make sense? They are pushed in a way that the big pharmaceuticals want them to go. They don't learn about nutrition and really about how the body works. They are taught definitions and they do get taught how the body functions, but not the way we take in nutrition and how our body works. And that you can also research. There's lots of studies done on that as well. You just need to dig. You need to do your research. It took me a year to do research on keto, digging and trying to understand it, how our body works. And also that involved studying our food, where it came from. And there's just a lot of research. Trying to stay on topic here. Keto to me, what I like to explain to people is the way God intended us to eat. So, in simple terms, it's eating what God provided us, whether that come from the garden or the forest. Those would be foods that are fruits and vegetables, herbs, meat. God provided all those things for us to eat. However, the trick is that you don't eat the processed foods. And this is how I set my mind when I first started in the grocery store trying to eat the keto lifestyle. And what I did is I set it in my mind that if it came in a box or it came out of the freezer section, I was not to eat it. And that was my main trick. Those foods are processed, highly processed foods with lots of sugar. The purpose of keto is to run on natural fats and not carbohydrates. Now, you have to understand carbohydrates. There are natural carbohydrates and there are processed carbohydrates, or you can say man-made carbs. Natural carbs come from your leafy greens, your root vegetables. Processed carbs come from sugars, breads, pastas. I remember back when I was starting keto training business, I was teaching people how to do keto one-on-one. And we have a local business opportunity, and it's just local business owners that want to help small businesses open, and they train them how to do that, how to start their own business. Well, I was going in there at least twice a week, and I had a sponsor, and they were helping me get a business plan together, and just all the background work of starting a business. And I was in there and I got into a pretty heated argument with a lady. She actually, my mentor at the time, she actually had ketoacidosis, and she didn't understand the difference between ketoacidosis and keto. And I tried to explain it to her, and she wasn't hearing it. She didn't want to hear nothing about it. And it just so happened that day there was a doctor that was in there doing a research or studying or whatever. I don't know what he was doing. But he was over on his laptop, and she got so defensive about the topic, she called him over to have a conversation with us. So we started talking, and I'm not sure what field he was in or anything. All I know is he was a doctor. And we started talking, and he said, "Oh no, keto's that's bad. That's bad news. You don't want to be teaching people how to do keto." And I said, "Why?" And he couldn't give me an explanation. And we sat there for a moment in silence, an awkward silence, and I'm like, "I don't understand. Why do you think keto is bad?" And his explanation was, our brains have to run on sugar. To me, and all the research I've done, and once you dig into the research and you start reading, you're going to understand why that blew my mind. And I explained to him, our bodies were never meant to run on sugar. Sugar is not a natural substance for us to intake. And he says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Our bodies were made to run on fat. Your brain is made up of fats. Your brain is made up of 60% of fat." And I explained this to him. He had no idea. He had no idea our brain was 60% fat. So, in my research and learning, whatever you feed your body, that's what your brain's going to run on. So, if you run on sugar, you're going to be foggy. You're going to be sluggish. You're not going to have as good as memory. If you feed your brain fat, which 60% of your brain is made of, it's going to flourish. You're going to have more clarity, you're going to have more memory, and you're just going to be able to think properly. And you will have a lot more energy. Now, these are just things that I've researched and I've learned. There's so many complicated scientific parts about the ketogenic diet. You really need to dig in and do your own research and make your own judgment call when it comes to this lifestyle. And as a homesteader, raising my own food, it just came natural for me to do a keto lifestyle. One, because I raise all my own food. I grow my garden. I raise my animals for a butcher. So it's just more natural for me to do that lifestyle. And honestly, I don't have to put any effort into it. When it comes to cooking keto lifestyle, all I'm doing is taking one recipe that I like. For instance, I'll take a bread recipe. Instead of using the ingredients that are non-keto, I take those ingredients out and replace those with keto-friendly ingredients. So if it calls for flour, I'm going to replace it with almond flour. I mean, it's really that simple. It's not that hard. You need to know what you're working with when it comes to the ingredients, but it's really simple. You just either take or add in to that recipe. You can make any recipe keto style. It just is breaking it down and learning how to do it, and it is simple and it's sustainable to do. In my personal experience, like I said, it took me over a year to study everything I wanted to study, because not only I wanted to understand exactly what I was doing before I jumped into this lifestyle. And one of the things that I really researched was fruit, because that is very controversial. Everybody thinks that fruit is really healthy for you, which fruit was healthy for us years and years ago. But now, if you like to research and you like to dig into, you need to look into Monsanto and genetically modified foods. This was a big breakthrough for me, especially when researching fruit, because I didn't understand why some people were saying it was healthy, some people were saying it wasn't, some people were saying it was high in sugar. In my research, I found the reason that the fruits aren't healthy for us is because scientists from Monsanto were able to go in and genetically modify our fruits, injecting it with sugars and more carbs. If you look up on the internet, you can find what our fruits actually look like 20, 50 years ago, and our fruits don't look anything like the fruits that our forefathers ate, our grandfather, whatever. You know, they've genetically modified them so badly. I personally believe that we can consume the fruits if we grow them our own, we know where they come from, and we do it moderately. Always watch what you eat and what your intake is anyway. But for me personally, I still eat fruits on occasion out of my own garden. If I can't produce it, I won't eat it. The one cool thing that I really learned and researched about was berries. Scientists have not been able to genetically modify berries yet. They can't figure out the complex and the compounds of berries. So berries are good, berries are safe to eat. They have not been able to genetically modify them to my knowledge yet. So that's a pretty cool tip. If you're thinking about doing the ketogenic lifestyle or you have questions, I am here. I love talking about the ketogenic lifestyle. Really enjoy helping other people. And if you decide this is the lifestyle you would like to take on, get a hold of me. Leave comments down below and I'll help you in any way I can. And if there's more questions that I didn't answer, please let me know. And hopefully I explained my keto lifestyle to you guys where you can understand it and know what it's all about. I hope you stay tuned for more great videos, and I hope to see you soon.